What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Danganronpa, one of my all-time favorites and one that I almost never talk about. But we got not necessarily news, but we have a tease at something happening with this game or with the franchise or property in November. So let's just look at this. I saw this a few days ago, and I thought, oh man, the speculation can kind of go wild, but it really, to me, is up to two different things, and I think I lean more towards one. So we look at the gaming leaks and rumors subreddit. Monokuma's voice actor teases a Danganronpa announcement for November. So the voice actor, Brian Beacock, made a tiny teaser with a GIF of Monokuma with the date of November 25th, 2025. This means that we will probably see a new Danganronpa content announcement in the not so far from future. Now, the first game came out literally 15 years from that point. Okay, the first game came out November 25th, 2010. In fact, I was actually, and I still probably am, going to replay the first game. I'll do a retrospective on it on my third channel podcast, Now Back to the Past. I've been planning that for like a year, and it's interesting that this happens, right? So what's tough about it is, I mean, I love anniversaries. I love dates, hence why I want to do the replay and do the retrospective. But 15 years, that is definitely, in my opinion, enough time to do some sort of remake. So that's option number one. Now, here's the thing. I don't actually think that's going to be what they pick. I think I originally saw this, rumor news thing break on Twitter, and I remember seeing people immediately bring up Dead by Daylight. And if you go on Dead by Daylight's like map and stuff, that's a game, by the way, I love Dead by Daylight, but they add so much to that game, but I'm so disconnected now that I don't pay enough attention to it. But I think, are planning in November to have a new killer, to have one of their really big updates, and I believe it says that it's going to be a licensed killer. To me, it's a remake or a remaster, something Danganronpa 1 related, or it's the inclusion of the franchise in Dead by Daylight. Now, I think that would be awesome. You think about Junko as the killer, and you could just imagine, because you have to have like Monokuma's presence somewhere, right? And then the kind of the Danganronpa flair. So you imagine maybe a kill, right? A Memori in the game. You'd have some like 2D style animation thing going on. So I feel like it kind of writes itself. I feel like the inclusion of that game and that franchise into Dead by Daylight would be freaking awesome. And I actually think it would be pretty easy. And again, if you go from Dead by Daylight over, you know that they're gonna do a licensed killer sometime around November. So I feel like it's probably that, in which case he probably shouldn't have teased anything, because it's almost too direct. It's almost too easy to predict. I'd love the franchise to come back. Obviously, the creator has moved on and continued to do really cool stuff. I have the 100-line Defense Academy thing on my Amazon wish list. I definitely want that game, but it's seemingly done pretty well. I'm happy that he's had success. I've played the other games that he's made since Danganronpa, but at the same time, I would like the franchise to return, and I do think it's been enough time, 15 years. I do think you could do a remake of the first game and almost just make it a little bit more flashy. Like the art style is so good and timeless. It's really one that I think will never get old, but you can still almost make it pop more. And you look at like the evolution of like 1, 2, 3 and how it pops and kind of that flair and flashiness. Those are kind of the things that if you were to remake one, you kind of would just take those elements and throw it in there, right? So I will take either. I honestly do think I would prefer a remake remaster, just so we really have the franchise back, but its inclusion in Dead by Daylight I think would actually freaking rock. It would be really, really cool. So I guess I'll take either. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.